Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, non-binary pals, and the technical rainbow in between, this is Modular Media Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Chris, the Boingo, the writer, the Gaston, and with me, as always, is my co-host.
Oh, new hair, new desk, new styles? That can only mean one thing, folks. Modular Media has refreshed its branding, so I did too. And we're back here for another episode of MMWP, the Modular Media Wrestling Podcast. I'm the Vacuuminator, and just like good old DDP, I gotta tell you, it's time to feel the bang.
New look, same old assholes.
Indeed.
So, professional
Oh, by the
wrestling.
way,
Oh, you go ahead.
uh, because I know somebody's going to bring it up in the comments. I am still planning to do the Brody thing in Halloween. It's just going to start getting hot as fuck here any day now. And I figured out I can grow it fast. So
You're saying that to the man who has this in Florida.
I I never had a beard in Florida. I didn't grow a beard for the first time until I moved here.
Weakling.
Indeed.
But this is MMWP, the podcast from Modular Media, where we talk about wrestling. Hence the name, Modular Media Wrestling Podcast. It works out strangely like that, you know? It's weird.
It sure does. It's hella fun.
Do we want to do any housekeeping in a general sense before we really dive into what happened in wrestling this week? Because boy, there's some shit to dive in.
Oh yeah. Well, before we get into that, as I alluded to, we have done a bit of a brand refresh here at Modular Media. We now have a
After
weekly schedule that we're going to be keeping to as best we can. So this show is supposed to air on Thursday nights. We had a bit of trouble getting together last night, so that's
yeah,
why we're doing it now.
yeah,
This night will always be the fallback night for
yeah.
that, because both of us can just stay up as late as we fucking need to on Fridays. Whereas I have work on Friday, so if I'm up too late on Thursday, then the next day I will fall asleep on the highway and die. Um,
Wasn't Twit also uploaded on Wednesday this week?
yeah, that was purely just issues with getting the edit
Oh wait,
together
no.
on time.
I was about to say,
But
was I the only one on time this week?
no.
Component was on time.
Yeah, Component was on time. And hey, we have a new flagship show, Modular Components, which is meant to be a much more casual, laid back show than all the other stuff we do here at Modular Media. It's we each bring a topic and we just kind of sit around and shoot the shit based on those topics. And this week it was much more generally just a life update and getting reacquainted with each other kind of thing.
I'm
Because
being
Snowcone was
hailed.
on it, and we hadn't talked to Snowcone in quite a while. So it was really good getting caught up on him. We talked about toys and toy collecting a whole lot. Hey, there's some toys back there. I'm doing some toy collecting. And it was a whole thing. And as always, Twit or This Week in Toku with myself and Miriam of Bustercore will always go up on the Tuesday unless I have severe issues getting the edit together, like I did this week, and I apologize for that. But hey, it's out now. You can go listen to it after you're done watching this, which hopefully won't be too long from now. We'll try not to be going too long, too late, both for your benefit, for the benefit of the podcast, and for the fact that we have to record No Prize after this. So we're going to be up pretty late tonight, but that's fine because we're talking wrestling, we're talking comics, we're talking all kinds of fun stuff. And I am just super excited to get into it whenever Boingo is available again, because at the moment I'm stalling for him while he's on the phone. Oh, he's putting his camera back into place. He might be back with us any second now. That's super exciting. Um, but yeah, super exciting times here for Modular. A lot of our shows are starting to pick up. Like this show only gets a couple views a week, and that's fine. No Prize is getting more and more views each week, and Twit is getting more and more views each week. So I'm very excited about that. I hope everybody turns out to support Modular Components because I think it's going to be something very different but very beneficial to this channel. So I hope everybody at least gives it a shot and enjoys it. Welcome back, Boingo Writer. Are you ready to talk
Yeah,
about some
I
wrestling?
just got hailed. But also remember, if you're listening to this on any podcast platform, tell your friends about it so they can enjoy the bullshit too.
Hell yeah.
So we need to talk about the professional wrestling, and talking about
Mhm.
professional wrestling often means you have to talk about the weird underbelly, the sewer of professional wrestling, because
We gotta get on the dirt sheets, brother.
last week we talked about a bunch of firings, which sad, tragic, kind of bullshit. Fuck all that
Yeah.
shit, you know. This week,
Bit of an
was
update.
bit of an update. Do you want to give you've been more on the pulse of this than I have, so why don't you give the folks the rundown essentially?
Okay, so I don't have all the tweets in front of me right now. I can't read off exact quotes, but basically, what had happened was Mickey James, one of the firings I was most upset about because I feel she is a huge asset to any women's division you put her in. She could be an amazing mentor, locker room leader type person, and she's still able to go in the ring. I've often wondered why WWE didn't use her more than they did, but whatever. She's going to go be more beneficial to some other company now, and good for her for doing that. However, uh, apparently somebody saw fit to clean out Miss James's locker at wherever the Thunderdome is at the moment, and send her things along to her in a cardboard shipping box that contained all those things, not so politely tossed into a garden variety trash bag.
Yeah,
And she tweeted about this, saying she felt really disrespected and pretty upset about it. And Evil East replied and got dunked on. That was funny. Um, and then Stephanie McMahon came back the next day and said, "Hey, we're sorry. Firing you sucks enough, but nobody should have to have something like that happen to them. We've fired the person responsible for doing this." And Triple H tweeted something similar, to which CM Punk replied with the gif of the guy going like, so it's the whole thing.
yeah,
Oh, and also coincidentally, it was announced that Mark Carano was released from WWE.
yeah. But that was apparently he was released like a year or so ago, like a while.
Mm.
Like
Oh, okay, okay.
it only just people realized, oh, he's not there. Um, yeah, it's this is a big old bag of fuck.
That is rubbing salt in the wound, and I do not blame her for being upset. Good on
That's
Steph and Trips for responding the way they did, but also like y'all the same motherfuckers that have been protecting Velveteen Dream and Matt Riddle for the last however long it's been since that shit came out. So
yeah,
it's weird where lines get drawn, isn't it?
yeah. Hey, Trip, say hi to China.
Hmm.
Um,
I want to like Triple H. I desperately want to think that he's gonna save the company when Vince eventually kicks the bucket. But the older I get, the more I come around to the CM Punk way of thinking of. I want to think this company is going to be great when Vince McMahon finally dies, but the sad truth is it's going to get taken over by his idiot daughter and his doofus son-in-law.
yeah, I mean, well, this is kind of how it is.
Mhm.
But
That's the way it is. Some things will never change. Like
small
Aleister Black's gimmick.
small silver lining that because it's in character, it's just an evolution. It seems good. It reminds me of Guillermo del Toro movies.
Yeah, and literally this new promo, which is Aleister Black kind of like berating the audience in a somewhat polite way and reading a storybook called The Book of the Dark Father and
When I
implying that
saw
it's
that, I
about
first
him.
went like, is that saying the Dark Order? The fuck?
Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be the best way to do that invasion? But no, he reads it. He basically tells this story, and the longer it goes on, the more clear it becomes that he's talking about his childhood, and he's implying that he's going to be doing some very nasty things in the not too distant future. And Aleister Black is back on the main roster. He's on SmackDown, and he's if this promo, because this is just an initial promo, if it's any indication, he's being handled a lot better than he was the first time around, and good for that. However, my immediate response was to go on Twitter and just retweet the video with, please don't fuck this up, 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 please.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, fuck WWE.
I mean, the last time I was invested in WWE was The Fiend from debut till WrestleMania, and we all know how well that went. So, needless to say,
At
while
least
I am...
up till Firefly Funhouse was fantastic. It was pretty good. Firefly Funhouse was good.
Yeah, that was the Mania match, and like, I'm optimistic about this re-debut for Aleister. However, I'm still just gonna spectate it.
Yeah, no. I ain't tuning in. Like, Alistair, you're my boy. I ain't tuning into that.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's the same kind of thing where, like, remember when they were pushing Jeff Hardy really hard on SmackDown after Matt had just debuted in AEW?
Yeah. Hey, we got the Hardy Boy people actually care about. Come on, guys.
Yeah. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, that company. But another company is Jazzwares, and they make toys. They make action figures. Hey, I like toys. I like action figures. And they unveiled the color prototypes of AEW Unrivaled Collection Series 5, which is going to be first ever tag champions SCU. So that's Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. Two-thirds of Jurassic Express, that being Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, and a new version of Jon Moxley and Hangman Adam Page. And I gotta admit, I am really excited about this wave. I already had it all pre-ordered before these shots came out, but this just made me go from like, yeah, that'll be a solid wave to, oh, this is gonna be a fucking great wave.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Luchasaurus is just great. Jungle Boy, fantastic. It just seems good. Seems good shit.
Yeah, very, very nice looking toy.
Is chugging along the only downside? I think still some people still aren't able to find them easily enough.
Yeah, distribution across the board for toys is really fucked up right now because COVID is still affecting things pretty badly, and it probably won't be that way. It probably won't be back to normal, at least for the toy industry, until this year's holiday season, I would expect.
Yeah, and there was also the giant blockage in the canal because a lot of those toys are probably manufactured in China and places like that.
Yeah, I don't know where Jazzwares' factories are, but I know Mattel has some factories in China, some factories in Korea, and Hasbro has recently moved all of their production to Korea.
That's, hey, you don't have to deal with the CCP.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's a whole thing. I'm very excited for those figures. The only unfortunate thing I could say about this wave is, hey, it's face Scorpio Sky.
Oh yeah.
However, that's also like, I don't care. We finally have the tag belts in the line.
Yeah.
Like, by the time these two come out, every belt currently active in AEW as of this broadcast will be in figure form.
Black TNT?
No, but there will be a version of the TNT Championship.
Yeah. FTW.
Yeah.
Super Mega AAA belt that Kenny has.
That only counts when they want it to count. That's not an AEW belt, sir.
It's worn by an AEW wrestler, boy.
Fair. But then you could also say, like, hey, where's Moxley's US title?
It's in the Japanese release.
Oh my god, that would be amazing if Super 7 released a Jon Moxley in their New Japan line.
Are they the same scale?
Pretty much, yeah. I think the New Japan figs are a little bigger than the Unrivaled figs, but it's the same scale. Okay. 112, 6-inch.
But Yeah. We also got some video game news. We got one of the 2 Point shows, another one, just kind of more updates on Elite GM mode, GM game, the mobile thing. Basically, going, hey, it's going to be 2DR. There's going to be a lot of finishers, a lot of ways to book things. It's going to have a lot of things you want. No definitive date, but it will be out before the end of the year.
Legitimately, this as we get more and more updates on that game, it does sound more and more interesting to me. Like whereas before I was like, I don't give a fuck about mobile games, just get to the real shit. Now I'm like, I'm kind of getting to a place where I'm like, I might give this a shot when it drops.
Right. I wonder if this is also going to be some gotcha stuff. If they're going to use some gotcha mechanics.
Microtransactions kind of stuff.
No, gotcha. Do you know the difference between micro and gotcha?
I apparently do not.
Okay, when you're playing like a free mobile game and it gives you like a coin and you can spin a thing and get a character, that's a gotcha.
Mm.
Like a gotcha ball from Japan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Genshin Impact is like that. The the Fire Emblem mobile game is like that. Pokemon Masters.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, that could work. That could be fun.
Yeah. I'm not saying do it, but I have a feeling that might happen. Also, just some lip service minor updates to the console game going like, hey, they look good.
We're still working on it. It's still going. We just can't show you anything right now.
They really started this show way too fucking early.
Mm-hmm.
They thought that, oh, we're gonna get some shit. This is the third one we've done and we don't have anything to show yet.
Especially to the point where now this episode ends with Kenny going like, "Hey, I'm the champion of two companies, soon to be free. I have to do a lot of shit. I kind of can't host this show anymore. Allie, you're a pretty gamer girl. Will you host our gaming show?"
Honestly, what I would like this show to turn into is it's more of like a talk show of just like Allie and guests of a week talk about video games and like stuff like that and just update people on the goings on and maybe throw in like a clip from AEW Twitch stream once in a while.
Yeah, it's kind of been that with Kenny, but they could definitely go harder on it.
And then you can do it like every week
Yeah.
and just like give an update every once in a while and just like, oh hey, special guest Kenny Omega, he has an update for us.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, I'd be down with that. Hmm. But then we also got a bit of a really cool video actually over on the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast YouTube channel, which is Matt Cardona and EC3 sitting down in a diner to kind of hash things out because they've been having like a bunch of Twitter tensions and stuff back. Matt's been being kind of
Twitter
passive
beef.
aggressive. Yeah, Matt's been being passive aggressive to him in like unboxing videos and things. And, you know, EC3 kind of clapping back in the comments and that whole thing. And so they sit down in this video to kind of like let's try and resolve this. Let's figure out what's going on. And legitimately, I think this is the best character work either of these two men have done in years. Like best stuff EC3 has done since Impact. Best stuff Matt Cardona has done since the True Long Island story ended. Um, just going over like the differences in how their years have been since they got released, because this kind of unfortunate considering what else happened that day, but this did release on the 1 year anniversary of Black Wednesday.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, it's been a year. Look at how your year's gone compared to how my year's gone. You know, I've got a hugely successful podcasting network now, and I'm doing all this, and I'm running my own pseudo promotion, and I've got like 7 different action figures of myself in development, and you signed with Ring of Honor. And he's like, yeah, because it's not about being a businessman to me. It's about telling a story. And it's about helping others really look at themselves and figure out who they are in the ring. Can you say that you've really been doing that over the last couple of years, Matt? He's like, shit, maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. Let's find out. I've got a live event coming up soon. Let's have a match. And it was a very solid kind of promotional video for that. I believe it's going to be live 7. It's happening on Memorial Day, and it'll be a pay-per-view thing. Um, not entirely sure on details because they didn't actually show anything for it in the video. But like, if you want to see those two guys just really get in a really good promo, I would definitely suggest sitting down and watching that video. It's about 10 minutes long, and it's really the kind of stuff I've been aching for since I stopped watching NXT, because NXT used to be really good at these kind of back and forth promos. Um, so yeah, definitely check that out. And then also check out Impact Wrestling, because they've been building to a very huge, very significant pay-per-view that's happening this frickin' Sunday, Rebellion. And there was a press conference for it where Kenny Omega and Rich Swann kind of got into it. Bit of like passive aggressive back and forth between Scott D'Amore and Tony Khan. And Kenny Omega like came in late to the press conference and acted like he was the big swinging dick, which kind of is kind of fair.
Yeah.
But then he goes up to Rich Swann, and Rich Swann is like, "You may become the champion, but you will never care about this company as much as I do." And Kenny's just like, "Ladies and gentlemen of the press, I want you to get a good shot of this, because this is the last time I'm ever going to be cordial with this man. Once we get in the ring, it's war." And he holds out his hand for a handshake, and Rich goes to shake it, and he just slaps him, and they have to be pulled apart. It was really good.
That's good.
One of the better pull apart brawls I've seen. And then on Impact TV, there was a retirement ceremony for Jazz, a wrestler I'm only kind of familiar with, but I know she's a pretty big deal in women's wrestling. So it was really fun watching that, especially because it's the typical wrestling. Oh, we're having a big retirement ceremony for you. Isn't this nice? Oh, look, it's some dastardly heels. They want to ruin this. One last match. And then that happens. And then Jazz wins the match. She gets the pin. And then the entire roster, faces and heels alike, come out and basically do a thank you Jazz chant because there's no fans. Which I thought it was sweet. I thought it was nice. And then getting to the Impact storyline going on with the Major Bros, Brian Myers basically told Matt Cardona towards the start of the episode, "Hey, be in the ring at this time. I want to test you. I want to make sure you're ready for our match on Sunday. I'm giving you a surprise opponent." And then Matt Cardona goes out, does his entrance, lights go out in the ring, they come up, and it's Sami Callihan. Brian Myers paid him off to basically beat the ever-loving shit out of him, and that does happen. Sami Callihan work knocks him out in the match. And it's a big old stinger leading into their match at Rebellion. And it's a pretty decent week of Impact overall. I haven't watched yesterday's episode just yet, but I am probably gonna watch it within the next couple days, and I might actually sit down and watch Rebellion in full. I'm seriously considering that because it does look like a pretty solid card all around, except for one giant clusterfuck of a match, kind of smack dab in the middle of things. But I'm not going to throw shade by saying which one I think that is booking wise. But yeah, solid week of Impact. And then we had Stu Grayson and Evil Uno on AEW Outside the Ring. Very fun episode, really getting across their dynamic as a tag team, where Uno's kind of the calmer, more personable. "Yeah, I'm a gamer just like you. Isn't that cool? Oh, I like this one. I like that one." And Stu's just like, I don't, I don't play video games. I don't watch movies. I don't watch TV. I go to the gym and I eat. I go to the gym and I eat, and I will crush you."
Nice. Weird
Mm.
for a guy who used to dress up like Luigi.
Yeah. Um, and then we had BTE, and it's a bit of a disjointed but still fun BTE this week. We opened up with the Bucks talking about before their match on Dynamite this week, kind of going over their gear and confirming that, yeah, those were real Jordans. Those were $20,000 pairs of Jordans. Um, and just being like, yeah, we feel like new men. We've got a new lease on life. This is so great. And then there was a montage of the match. And then we got a recap of Dark Order's promo with Hangman walking out. And then it cuts to like a few hours.
I'm getting a thing. I'm
And
grabbing
then
a thing big.
it cuts to like a few hours later where Hangman has not come back yet, and the whole Dark Order is like, what's going on? Where'd Hangman go? Is he ever coming back with those egg rolls? Johnny is hungry. And also, wow, Five got a new dick instead of just getting his dick reattached, and it's fucking massive, and he can't stop having boners. Isn't that funny? And then they
Dicks.
dicks. They talk about fatherhood and their own dads and the fact that Alex is going to be a dad soon. I think they announced his pregnancy on a BT a few weeks ago, and I just didn't think to mention it. His wife's pregnancy, I should say. And then it basically ends with John getting more and more upset about the fact that Hangman hasn't come back with the food. And so Colt Cabana just pulls out his cell phone and orders 90,000 pounds of meat delivered from DoorDash.
Dear God.
It's good. I liked it. Then we got a reprise of the Best Friends' BTE bits, because the Best Friends hadn't been on BTE for quite a while, ever since Trent got injured. And he does actually explain, like, he was there every week, but he purposely stayed off BTE because he wanted it to be impactful when he re-debuted. But it starts with Brandon Cutler walking into the photo room and going like, all right, I need a Best Friends bit. They're all back. We need to get this bit on BTE. And then we get a reprise of the Brandon Cutler being murdered by Best Friends so he'll leave them alone about doing bits, and they basically say all the lines, they call back to all the stuff. And the funny thing is, it's constantly going back to Chris Statlander having the ability to force choke him, which is kind of awesome.
She's an alien.
Yeah. And then when he's like, "Well, if you guys don't want to do a funny bit, you could just bring back mailbag. Remember when that used to be your thing every week, where you just read comments in the stand before the shows?" And they were like, "Oh shit, yeah, that might be fun now that we have Chris. Let's go do that." And so they answered some comments for a little bit, and it was pretty fun. I did enjoy it. Then we got a follow-up to the bit with Ryzen last week, where he's basically running around trying to find a place where he can hide until his boner disappears. And during that, he runs into JD Drake, Ty Conti, and one of the refs that's only ever on Dark, so I don't know his name. And their reactions were pretty priceless. That's all I'll say. Then we got a little bit of a montage of the Elite being the Young Bucks and Kenny doing their first meet and greet together since the pandemic began, before Dynamite. It's fun, it's neat. Bunch of cool photos of them posing with fans with the titles. Good times. Then there was a recap of stuff that happened at The House Always Wins from the perspective of Brandon's vlog camera. And then we got a bit where Brandon goes to confront the Bucks backstage about their new appearance and their new attitude, and they didn't come out to save him after he got beat down by Death Triangle on Dark, and what's going on, what's happened to them. He's injured now. He doesn't know what he's supposed to do because his advice backfired, and they're basically like, buddy, don't worry about it. Just keep making BT. Just keep filming us. In fact, why don't you be our personal cameraman? While you're injured, why don't we give you a little bit of on-the-job training, because we've been neglecting you? Why don't you be our young boy? And he's like, I don't know about that. And they're like, well, that's too bad because your wife makes all our gear, remember? And you're only in this company because we offered you a contract. So that contract is almost up, isn't it? So here's how this is going to go. For the foreseeable future, until you can wrestle again, you're going to be our young boy, or we'll stop contracting your wife and we won't renew your contract. Get
Ooh,
fucked.
that big dick move.
Mm-hmm.
Big heel
Is
energy.
it was like, ooh, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
Especially because right after that, it immediately goes into there's now a new end screen where for the longest time it's been animated versions of them singing the theme song and then super kicking the screen. Now it's them sitting on thrones made of stacks of money, holding t-shirt cannons, basically saying, "Hey, buy our merch, like and subscribe." Honk.
So basically the evil version of all the people who don't like the Bucksy.
Yeah. Like, bit of a scatterbrain BT, but that ending was just so great to build up their heel characters. And then, of course, after that, we had Dynamite. So, Chris, why don't you lead us into Dynamite?
All right, first things first. We have the first
Yeah.
Team Taz match with absolute Ricky Starks alongside Hook going up against Hangman Adam Page. This was a fun match.
It was an okay opener. I don't know because we haven't talked about it beforehand, but I was definitely pretty light on a lot of the Dynamite matches this week. Like, I don't want to say this was bad because this was definitely good. This is definitely TV quality, but it just felt like this isn't the best either of these guys can do. They're doing a solid opener just to get the audience warmed up.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It worked perfectly fine, but wasn't the most exciting thing in the world to me.
This also was a Dynamite where they put a lot of the A stories on the back burner and the B stories up more front.
Yeah.
This is a very stories heavy episode.
Mhm.
Because this whole match, it was fun, it was cool. There were some neat things. And it's basically just setting up a little mini feud between Hangman and Team Taz.
Which, could be solid, could be fun.
Especially with Brian Cage, that'd be fun.
Mm.
Dark Order, even though they didn't get their spring rolls, their Southern spring rolls, they still came and made the save.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
good shit.
So that plate's still spinning.
Indeed. And then we had I want to say a backstage, but it's an outside segment where the Elite basically arrive and then they get into a private trailer that they've now booked out for themselves. And it's a little plot thread that goes all throughout this Dynamite, and we'll fall back on that in a little bit.
Yeah. Next, we have Trent. I love how Justin Roberts is now doing that.
Yeah, that's so good.
With Orange Cassidy by his side, with Penta Elzea Romero, with Alex Apperhentes. It's Apper, not Upper.
Last time I saw it actually spelled out, it looked like Upper Hentes to me, but
Hold on. Let's double check real quick.
live Google, live Google, live Google, live Google, live Google. I'm doing the bushwhacker walk for some reason. Not going to stop until you have the result.
Well, it's going to take a second. Boop, boop, beep, bop. You can keep going. You can keep doing
Yeah,
it. Keep going.
I mean, like, I unironically love the bushwhackers. I know they're stupid. I know they didn't amount to much, but god damn it, they had one bit and they did it well and it was funny.
Oh dear God! Have you ever seen Anthony Bowens and Anthony Agogo just like side by side? Because goddamn,
I
they
have,
look like they could be cousins.
that doesn't surprise me, but I have not seen that.
Go on to All Elite Wrestling's AEW roster page, and it's like you just scroll down just a little bit,
Okay,
and you'll see it. It's just
we
like,
do that.
do it, my friend. Uh, Abrahantes. Abrahantes.
I'm gonna have to Google that every time I spell it from now on. Yeah, they do look like they fuck cousins. They look like brothers. They
Yeah,
flat out look like brothers. That's great.
like there's just enough difference that you go like, yeah, no, they don't look the same, but they look like they're related.
Yeah, if this was Impact, that'd be a storyline.
If this was WWE, it'd be a storyline. Come on,
There. No, they get put in a tag team because they look similar.
they'd get the Edge and Christian treatment.
Yeah.
You're both Canadian. You're blonde. You look alike. Whatever. You're brothers.
Just figure it out. Here's a kazoo. Go have fun.
Yeah. But this was a match between Penta and Trent. There's a question mark at the end of it. You got to say it like that. That's the
Yeah.
rule. This was it was neat. It was fun. It wasn't like a game material from any party here, but it was maybe Alex because this is the first time he's been manager during a match and not just in a promo segment. So he tried to pull out some big moves in terms of
Alex was
words.
doing so much hilarious shit on the outside too. Like if you pay attention to him as best you can with the camera angles, it's really funny. It's like watching Gokai Green every time there's a Gokaiger transformation sequence in that show.
But yeah, no, it was fine. It was fun. Also, they brought back the best friends theme, which is like
Made me so happy to hear it again.
it was how I thought it was. They did the Where's My Mind for that 1 week because it was just we need to get people used to this, and then once they're used to this, we'll do the other. We'll give everybody their right theme.
Yeah. I also didn't think of this till we went off the air that night, but that was basically an Orange Cassidy led segment, so it made sense that they used his theme there.
Yeah, but this was Trent. He was leading the charge, so it's Baba da Baba da Baba, the best friends.
Indeed.
Um,
And I did enjoy this match quite a bit. Like we said, not their best work, but very, very solid stuff all around, and kind of my match of the night, I think.
yeah. Eddie on. Uh, the big moment I remember is like Penta like going in for a chop or something on the outside with Trent, and then his hand just like full on, bing, whacks through the
Yeah.
post. That must have
Mm.
hurt. Also, apparently there was an ad for Rebellion. The feed I had didn't have picture in picture ads.
No, I had the picture in picture feed, and I noticed like I was skipping the picture in picture bits because I always do that. Like it's just hard for me to follow if there's no audio of the actual show. Um, but like right as I was clicking over to go skip it. All of a sudden I realized like wait, this isn't an ad for AEW. They're promoting the Rebellion title match. That's awesome.
Nice.
Wait, why aren't they doing that on the actual show?
There's kayfabe reasons we can think of 1,000.
Yeah.
But basically, Alex does give a distraction. He bonks Trent with a mic, and Penta gets a package pile driver, and he wins, thus cementing that Death Triangle likes to fuck with the best friends.
Yeah. That's a thing going forward, I think.
Yeah.
Um, but then we had a backstage interview with Jim Ross and the Pinnacle, and I say the Pinnacle kind of with air quotes because this was mostly an MJF promo, and it was a good MJF promo, not the best MJF promo ever, but a pretty good one with a nice little cameo from Wardlow.
Yeah. Wardlow, I think this is the best Wardlow has looked in terms of not just muscle.
Yeah, he had some solid characterization here, kind of clapping back at Jericho because everybody pointed out, including myself, that Jericho kind of botched the Wardlow segment of that promo the other day.
And it's just like, what, you scared, man? Did you flinch? Fuck you.
Mhm.
Also, just making fun of people going like, "Oh, it's an immaculate promo."
Yeah.
It's good
Um,
shit. Good work.
yeah. Good solid little segment. And yeah, I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah, I wish some of the other people got at least like a line in, but
Yeah, that was kind of my big big complaint with this show overall was just like that segment. I was like, it's advertised as an interview with the Pinnacle. Ross only asks like one or two questions, and the only people who talk are MJF and Wardlow. I would have liked it to be like, here's a question, MJF goes off. Here's a question, Wardlow goes off. Here's a question. Just give
You
everybody a
mean like
turn,
you
and
mean
then
like
like have it
you mean
go
like how they
go.
did the inner circle segment later on that night?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I would have also like little thing I would have done, have MJF bookend it. Like he gets the first question and then like maybe he steals the last from Tully or something, although Tully wasn't actually there this week.
Like I can and here's the thing, I can see him going like, "No, I don't need to speak for my brothers in arms. They can speak for themselves." And then like have the final one, like one of the FTR guys just go like, "You know what? I don't think I'm articulate enough to say this. MJF, would you?" Like have it be really like gentlemanly and respectful between this whole group to really just kind of contrast how much they're assholes to everyone else.
Yeah. Hmm. So yeah, that segment was just a bit of a miss. Just a bit.
Yep, yep, yep. But in a pretty good match, Tay Conte with the Dark Order on her side versus Hikaru Shida for the Women's Championship.
So this is the match I was most pumped for going into this show. There was a really good episode of Road 2 this week highlighting this and the other title match. And they played a little bit of it before this match, but like a lot of the interview stuff was chopped out. Highly recommend going and seeking that out because it was really, really solid stuff. Character work from Sheeta and Ty. Um, and this match delivered on that, but not quite as much as I wanted it to. I think it's just a slight miss of what it could have been, but what it is still pretty good. Really solid ring work from both ladies, really getting over the sort of difference in style between them,
Mm-hmm.
and never making either of them outright look like the heel.
Yeah, which is a good thing to do with face versus face, especially because like Hikaru Shida is very much striky, punchy, punchy, kick. With Ty, being much more Brazilian jiu-jitsu, which is wiggly and get you in the thing and then punch you.
Yeah, it's more about holds that
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
hurt.
Yeah. But Shida does retain.
And then the match, and the segment ends with Britt Baker coming out and basically doing a little shimmy shimmy to her entrance theme as a graphic appears on the main sort of video screen of the women's rankings. And then, oh, Tay lost. The rankings shatter. Britt Baker is now ranked number one. So I think.
I love the kind of sneaky nature of this of like, oh, I didn't have to work that hard because the people ahead of me lost.
Mhm. And yeah, I think it's safe to say we're gonna start building now to Britt Baker versus Sheeta at Double or Nothing.
Is Britt Baker gonna get the belt off of Shida?
I mean, as much as I love Sheeta, if they don't put the belt on Britt, they're idiots.
Yeah, Britt's probably the hottest act in the women's division right now. Other than maybe Jade Cargill, just because people are going like, "Ooh, there's something impressive there."
Yeah, but I think you put it on Britt, let her have it, maybe till All Out, and then give it to another one of the face ladies, and then Jade Cargill takes it at like the next big show after that.
I wouldn't have it be like immediate pay per view like that. I'd stagger it a little bit better, just so it doesn't
Hmm.
feel as so like predictable. Of like, oh,
Yeah.
it's new pay per view. I guess we got a new women's champion. Know that kind of feeling.
Fair enough.
Maybe make one of them like fight for the fallen.
Hmm. Oh, you know what the order should be?
Hmm.
Hikaru Shida, Britt Baker, Chris Statlander,
Mm.
Jade Cargill.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Hmm.
Especially because like they kind of play up the whole comic booky thing with Jade Cargill being like Storm, you know.
Yeah,
And
and I
this is
mean,
just
like,
me being a big dumb comic book fan going like, "Oh, she could call her a Shi'ar," and I'm just like, that would only pop me and like three other people.
but who cares? It'd be great. Um, but also, additionally, like I like the idea of it because it's two very serious, angry, take me seriously, get rid of these sideshow kind of characters, bookending a goofy sideshow character.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be so great. Do that. Should the best friends win the tag titles and kind of have be draped in gold at that moment? Maybe.
Yes, fuck it. No, best friends tag champions, Orange Cassidy TNT champion.
But no, because we got to talk about the next. We got to talk about the next bit because they're building to this.
We have a video package from Miro basically saying like it's another week. Kip's still dodging me. Whatever. Fuck him. I'm gonna get me a belt. Which belt should I get? And interestingly, they don't show footage of the tag champs this time. It's just the TNT and the main title. Which one am I gonna go after? Next week we're probably gonna find out. Next week he's probably gonna do a promo either on Kenny or Darby. Considering that he's a heel, probably gonna be Darby.
Yeah.
Miro versus Darby at Double or Nothing. That's all I'm saying.
Goddamn. Throw Darby around for 20 minutes and have Miro win.
We probably won't be out of the pandemic enough to do it, but like throw Darby into the crowd and they just start doing the wave. He starts crowd surfing.
I mean, they can throw him into the crowd. It's just a crowd of wrestlers.
True. Which, by the way, that's something we forgot to talk about. Jim Ross said on his podcast there's going to be a half capacity crowd for Blood and Guts at Daly's Place, and they plan to start touring again in July.
Yeah, that's good. Hopefully,
yeah.
Hopefully,
I'm excited.
Pans out.
Maybe I could finally go to a Dynamite.
What? No. And considering how much noise there was with as small a crowd there was when I went, half a crowd is going to be night and day.
Yeah.
Night and day.
I'm excited. I hope it's electric for that match because that booking alone deserves it.
Apparently, like the way they were talking, it's the whole show that match.
Mm.
Like it's going to be a 2-hour match.
Fuck it.
Why not?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be great if they like still have backstage segments and video packages? They just keep throwing to those and then coming back. Oh, they're still fighting. They're still fucking each other up. They were just in rest holds for 5 minutes.
I mean, they gotta rest sometimes with that. Maybe the first hour is all that cage build up, and it's like, no, you gotta wait 5 minutes to get out of the cage.
Mm.
And then only once everybody's in, now you can wrestle. Now you can win.
That'd be good times. But then there's also the next thing. Speaking of that whole match,
you want me to talk about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, oh, so you're wanting to push the podcast forward. You want to move topics. Okay, cool.
I mean, we're perfectly set up for it. We were talking about Blood and Guts, dude.
I know, and I'm ruining it with a bit. Play to the bit. It's yes and yes and.
This is the cringy side of Boingo Core right here.
Nah, man, ain't no cringy side with Boingo Core. Y'all find that out soon enough. Hint, hint. Foreshadowing. What does this mean? You'll never know.
Fuck.
Tony Schiavone interviews the Inner Circle, and this is what the Pinnacle segment should have been, because Tony Schiavone asks a question, Chris Jericho responds, and then Chris Jericho passes the mic around to the group. Not everybody gets a say. Not everybody, but Hager gets to do a bit. I have a feeling Hager was really proud of that straw bit backstage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have an idea. Straws. Let's do it, Hager. It's not often you have ideas like this. Let's fucking encourage this shit.
Yeah. Santana got time on the mic.
He's good on the mic. He's great on the mic.
Yeah. Like, the last time I remember him doing a truly great promo was that fucking promo... like during before his first AEW match in the pre-Dynamite period, where he coined the phrase "proud and powerful."
Oh yeah, yeah, the New York promos.
Yeah, those were fucking great. God, I want their face run for the tag title so bad.
I mean, hey, they face now.
Yeah,
That'd be fun. But no, this was a good segment. It was a good response. It wasn't as like as impressive a promo as the other Jericho promo, but it's still a good promo.
yeah, this is a solid segment. Which is something you're gonna hear a lot going forward because the next match is Billy Gunn versus QT Marshall with the Factory. Uh, this match was okay. However, it felt like they were just kind of dilly-dallying in the ring until they could do the angle they wanted to do.
Yeah, and also it doesn't help that like that's the kind of wrestling that these kind of dudes really excel at, which is good enough, like solid work. Like you can understand why wrestlers go like, no, they're good, but like it's nothing. It's nothing like that's to hang a hat on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nothing to
I mean,
hang over on your mantle.
I love Billy Gunn. I've been an advocate for QT ever since he first debuted in AEW. But like this was just not their best work.
It
This
was
is
a
just
B
kind of
though. It was
okay.
it was B. It wasn't bad. It
Yeah. And
wasn't
I mean
mid.
I did enjoy the angle because they get Billy beaten down. Anthony hits him with a cheat shot, and then they pull out a chair to hit him with, but it's not a regular wrestling chair. It's a fucking like wooden lawn chair.
Oh, you mean a kind of chair that'd be really super easy to gimmick
Yeah, but
and
it
not have
was
any metal go anywhere and accidentally slice a fucker?
yeah, but like Cody Rhodes still owns that chair, right?
Dude, he probably has it hanging up in his office.
Oh yeah, yeah. But anyway, like I kind of popped when I saw like, oh, they're gonna hit him with a chair that's not a wrestling chair. This is fun. This is kind of wacky. And then they hit Billy Gunn with it, and then his sons get in the ring, and it's a whole thing. And then Dustin comes out sporting a new look that I am very much for. It's his blue look, but good. And
Hey, the half face was fine.
it was fine, but it worked better in red.
Yeah.
But this is a new thing where it's half face, but it's horizontal instead of vertical.
It
Um,
looked like he was just wearing a mask at first.
yeah, which is
You
what
really
was
take
kind of cool. It
you
was
really
kind of a
take
fake out type thing.
you really taking COVID seriously, Dustin. I'm proud of you.
But no, Dustin beats the shit out of QT, and there's probably going to be a Dustin versus QT match not too far down the line. Which you know what? I am here for that.
Pre-show on Double or Nothing
Potentially, potentially.
or first match, second match.
Yeah.
Let a cruiserweight match.
I mean, you could do that. You could have it be the main event of a Dynamite somewhere between now and Double or Nothing. You could have it be the opening match of the Blood and Guts show.
But the big thing is like it is a tag team implosion, and
Mhm.
which is a big thing for a storyline. So I think giving them a pay per view spot is just kind of going like, no, this is an important part of the storyline.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm always excited when Dustin gets cool stuff to do.
Oh, you forgot the
Uh,
coolest part Dustin did because Kamaroto came into the ring to try and protect QT, and so Dustin went like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna use the chair, bash you over the head. Why are there splinters everywhere?
it is great. Um, and yeah, I'm super excited about that. Like, I I don't have an in with Jazzwares, but there were two moments on this show that made me go, I can't wait for that to be a figure. I can't wait for this new Dustin look to be a figure.
Dustin, I can't wait for Kamaroto. Kamaroto will be fun to see.
That's true. Kamaroto will be great, but he's not the other person I was thinking.
Ooh, who would it be? Who would it be?
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Okay, I was trying to
Okay.
guess a little bit, but whatever.
I mean, we'll
Uh,
get to it.
no, but this again. This episode of Dynamite was very much the B shows taking the B storylines taking prominence, and the A stepping back a little bit because we had this has basically been an A storyline, and it stepped back to more of like a B in what they did this episode, because we're backstage, we're in the trailer. The elites are all going like, ah, we're dicks, motherfuckers. Look at us, we're hanging out, bro. And then a beep happened, and Kenny's going like, motherfucker, beeping, motherfuckers. More beeps.
I can't believe the network's censoring us right now.
Yeah, beep, beep, beep. And they just go like, what the fuck's happening? And then we cut to outside, and we just see a big old truck with Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston in it, and they're going like, all right, guess we're doing this Attitude Era. And they run into the goddamn trailer, trying to like freak them the fuck out, get their hands on the Elite. They open the door, the Elite aren't there.
A lot of people were really pissed off about that. A lot of people were like, "What is this fiend level bullshit? How did they get out of there? How did they disappear?" There's another door in the back of the trailer.
Yeah, that's the door they came into. That's the door they went to show, like, hey, there was another door. I would have liked to have seen an edit showing that. Remember, show, don't tell.
Yeah.
But, like, overall, I think this wasn't the best segment it could have been. But again, it was taking a backseat for other segments.
I mean, like, I enjoyed it just purely for the Moxley and Kingston banter as they're, like, getting out of the truck and just, like, did you bring the pipe? Of course I brought the pipe.
The best line was like Eddie Kingston going like, hey, Mox, don't rough them up too bad. We can get those shoes. And Moxley just going like, you and those fucking shoes, you're not going to steal their shoes. Don't do that. Don't do that. I know you. Don't do it.
But I have an eBay account.
And you know how much those shoes are worth. And like Moxley throwing the pipe later on, and like Eddie Kingston go like, whoa, watch where the fuck you're going, man. Hey, it's alright. Fuck it, man. I know you. I love you. This is good.
Yeah, that was some fun. That was a good little thing. And then we got another good little thing, which is the second Team Taz match of the night. We had Powerhouse Hobbs versus Christian Cage.
May I make just a quick observation of this match alone? This is Darby in 20 years. Getting beat down the entire match and then suddenly pulling off a remarkable upset at the end and winning.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what he does now, but he gets a little more work in between there.
Yeah.
Because that's his whole character, is just endure the pain and then pull it out at the end.
Yeah.
But, no, they did that with Christian here because you want to get over how strong...
the big boy.
I don't like calling him Powerhouse as the first name. I'm still going to say Will.
You want to get over how... They kind of switch back and forth.
But you want to get over how strong Hobbs is. You want to build him up as this big badass monster. But Christian is still the veteran. We still want to do that title feud eventually. So he's going to pull it out in the end. And he hits his signature move that everybody knows. Everybody wants to see him do it. So there it is. He wins and he advances in the rankings.
Especially after like Hobbs was cocky. It shows that if he kept his head on straight, Hobbs would have won. But because he got cocky and Christian Cage is a veteran in the ring, Cage was able to go like, all right, win. That's good storytelling because it doesn't make Hobbs look like a weakling. It's just good. But next we have a couple of announcements for next week. Next week, we're getting Penta versus Orange, baby.
Can that please be Pac versus Orange round 2?
Oh my god.
Can we just get that match on TV?
No, here's the thing. Pac versus Orange is Bugs Bunny versus Elmer Fudd. Penta versus Orange is Bugs Bunny versus Daffy.
Thank you. That's exactly what I thought you were going to say.
They're both fucking insane, but in completely different ways. And like, Goddamn.
Yo, instead of a new hat, Penta puts on Orange's sunglasses.
Ooh. Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Um.
We're also getting, but I'm getting back to where I was reading Statlander versus Ford. Oh hey, look, Kip's back on Dynamite. I wonder if anybody's gonna run in and beat someone up.
Yeah, this will be a nice little epilogue to Best Friends versus Kip and Co.
Yeah. Then we also have the Bucks versus the Seidel's, brothers versus brothers.
Let's fucking go! That's gonna be such stupid flippy shit. I can't wait.
Oh god, if they pull off half the shit that like Nick and Ray have done to each other, that'd be fucking dope.
Yeah.
We also have Nightmare Family versus The Factory, a big kind of clusterfuck of a tag team match that's going to be interesting. We're
Yeah.
also getting a final like parlay of promo for Blood and Guts, which is, you know, what's going to end in.
That's gonna be a. You know what? If they're smart, they won't do a match as the final segment of the show. That'll be the final segment of the show, and it'll end in a massive pull apart brawl.
Oh yeah, that's good. AEW loves pull apart brawls.
Hmm.
The only people who love pull apart brawls more than AEW is Paul Heyman.
That's fair.
And hey, look, you have ECW original Taz on your like. I don't doubt that the Bucks and Kenny and Cody talk to Taz on a regular basis about like, hey, talk to Taz, talk to Dustin, talk to all like the veterans, and go like, hey, what do you think we should do? What are some like ideas that you want to pitch at us? You know,
Yeah.
yeah. But we're also getting Christian Cage versus Hangman Adam Page. That's gonna be interesting.
Can we put it in a cage? Can we play Path of Rage?
I
Can
don't
we
know.
we burn some sage incense?
We'll have to get a gauge.
Hmm. And they better be careful because the whole place will be under siege.
If they win, they get an engage.
Mm. Kamen Rider Wizard just walks out, puts the ring on Hangman's finger. Engage, police.
Hold on. Hangman in the middle of the match just points at someone. Hey, what's your age?
Um, fuck, you win. I couldn't think of a number that ends in that kind of sound.
There isn't one.
Yeah, you fucking trap carded me. I'm in the Shadow Realm now.
Blue eyes, fuck my dick.
Oh my god, if this was Twit, that would be the quote I'd make the episode title.
Hey, you can still make it the episode title for the next twit for no good reason.
Buster's like, I never said that.
Boy, boyo. Speaking of boyos, Jungle
We
Boy.
Are we gonna skip the Jade Cargill video package?
I just saw that as a good segue, but we'll go back to Jade Cargill. Storm is saying, "Hey, I'm gonna beat people up."
She sure is. All right, so Jungle Boy, um, go ahead.
Okay,
This should be your segment. I
should
fucked
be.
this all up.
Yeah, no, it should be. But we also just blew over the Jade Cargill video package. It was fine. It was good, but it was just another video package.
It was another Jade Cargill video package.
So a couple of twinks went at it, and a couple of old dudes watched.
This show is getting more embarrassing by the week.
Bitch, you're on this. It can never be more
I can't put it on a resume, damn it.
So Jungle Boy and Darby Allin are going at it with Luchasaurus in Jungle Boy's corner and Sting in Darby's. Guess what hasn't happened in several weeks?
What's that?
Sting hasn't had an interview segment that got interrupted.
Oh my god. Jake and Lance did it. They broke the curse.
Almost as if, like, at the end, it was a joke and everybody was in on it except some numpties talking in the comments.
What a bunch of Craigs.
What a bunch of fucking Craigs. Now we just got to smell this.
Uh,
Now we just got to smell this match. It was for the
yeah, and
TNT
like
Championship.
honestly, this was a great title match. Like we all knew how this was going to go. This was going to be solid work rate from both these boys. Not the best they could do, but solid stuff. Good initial encounter for them because I don't think they've had a singles match together in AEW at least so far.
No.
Um, and it was kind of cool how Jungle Boy was like putting himself over in Road 2, saying like, "Hey, I have this many singles wins. I'm undefeated in singles. We've been doing really good in the tag rankings. I'm a legit great prospect in this roster. I deserve this title shot, and even if I don't win, I'm going to do great at it." And he followed through on that. Like I felt like I was seeing the beginning of a John Cena and Randy Orton level rivalry.
I can
Um,
definitely get that vibe because it's also like two completely different styles that like clash in interesting ways because it's Jungle Boy and very kind of more traditional holds and strikes, very traditional style wrestling with some flips and shit every once in a while. And Darby is out here using his body as a battering ram.
Definitely.
But he can also pull out some holds, he can pull out some strikes, but it's mostly just like, I'm going to use every ounce of this 100-pound soaking wet body of mine to beat your ass. There was also some like interesting face dynamics going on because Jungle Boy was trying to get into the ring and Luchasaurus is there going like, come on, you can do it. And Jungle Boy grabs on because, hey, I'm trying to grab onto anything I can to get into the ring. And Luchasaurus just goes like, I am not doing anything. He's doing this all on his own. I'm not actively helping. And Sting
Yeah, because Sting's standing right over there with the bat, dude. We're not cheating tonight. Nope.
but Sting goes like, hey man, that wasn't cool. And Luchasaurus was like, I didn't do anything. It was all him. And it's like, and they start going back and forth. It gets heated, and then they start doing the hockey brawl
Mhm.
into the tunnel to basically go like, these guys are not going to be factors in the finish. Don't worry.
Yeah, this is not their segment.
But it does like write them off eventually. But we do get a dope ass like a Jungle Boy putting in his submission finish. I can't remember the name right now.
The snare trap.
The snare trap.
It's a modified STF.
Yeah, it looks much better than any STF John Cena ever did.
Hell yeah.
I think it's the leg thing. I think the leg thing helps it
Yeah,
because it's like an inverted figure four and an STF in one.
like I'm not much of a submission finisher guy, but as submission finishers go, that's a really good one.
I think that one, the Lockjaw, and Mox's Bulldog are like my favorites. Just because
And
I love
to
the way Mox kind of like turns his body when he's doing the Bulldog.
and for me, to throw a bone to WWE, I still love to disarm her.
Yeah, there's good shit in there. That's good shit. But eventually Darby does pin Jungle Boy with the Last Supper. And at the end, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page going like, hey, fuck y'all, pay attention to us. And try to make a scene. Lance Archer comes in, goes like, nah, bitch, they're my spoopy boys.
And
Only
Sting's
I-
like, that's my spoopy son.
Only I get to punch the spoopy boys.
Wouldn't that be? Oh, you know if. Okay, so here's my idea.
Go on.
Blood and Guts. It's not the whole 2 hours. It's the whole second hour. The first hour is split between Dustin Rhodes versus QT Marshall, and then Lance Archer and Sting versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page.
Ooh, that's a fucking
How will they coexist?
Honestly, though, that'd be the first time AEW's done that kind of like single angle storyline. That WWE's done the fucking enough. But goddamn, Sting versus Scorpio though.
Yeah.
Scorpion.
Fucking who can get the Scorpion Death Trap on first?
Damn. That'd be fun. Let's see what happens. But that was Dynamite for the week. It was a solid B.
Yeah. Like, not the most fun show ever, but perfectly fine entertainment.
Things move forward just enough to justify it existing, but it definitely feels like we are in the middle of waiting between two different pay-per-views.
Yeah, like next week is probably going to be a pretty exciting show because it will be building into Blood and Guts.
Mm-hmm.
Blood and Guts will fucking blow us away. Then I think we'll have another B show, and then we'll start building to Double or Nothing.
And here's the thing: we're currently still building to Double or Nothing. We just don't know exactly how we are building to Double or Nothing.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing: with it being a half capacity crowd at Daly's Place for Blood and Guts, I forgot what it was for a second there. I would not be surprised if they're doing that as a test run to see if they could do their first full capacity show back at Double or Nothing.
I can definitely see that. I can get that vibe. But yeah, that was Dynamite for this week. Any final thoughts you want to give?
Uh, Come this time next week, Kenny Omega will be Impact World Champion, and I want an Impact wrestler to appear on Dynamite to challenge for the title.
Sammy Callahan.
Fuck yeah.
For
And
like for like a one shot, yeah, Sammy Callahan. Let's do it.
And fucking just yeah, fuck it. Let's have him drive in with Mox and Kingston.
Hey, I got a ride. Here's the fucking weed money.
Here's how here's how you introduce that. Mox comes out and Kenny's like, God damn it, not this motherfucker again. I'm trying to have a title celebration. And Mox is like, yeah. I still want to beat you up, but I realized people are probably getting a little sick of this, so I made a phone call. And then Sammy's music hits.
Here's the question. Mox is from Ohio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where's Sammy from?
I don't know, but I know they were a tag team in CZW or
I
something.
think he's
like
also
that.
from Ohio.
That would be great.
I called the neighborhood boy of mine.
Somebody from back east.
Ohio is to the left of Florida.
I know, but that's a thing you say.
Is it a thing you say, or is it a thing you want people to say so you're right?
No, it's the thing you say. I've heard that in like movies and shit, dude.
Probably about things that are to the east of something.
True, but I'm just saying it is a thing people say.
You up north?
Technically, I'm south,
No. You're north of me.
but I'm in South Carolina. Isn't that fucked?
You're also in the south.
That is super fucked.
But
And now I've just offended most of our audience.
but that was MMWP. That was wrestling for the week. Overall, pretty good.
Yeah.
Except the trash bag in the corner.
Thoughts and prayers, Mickey.
Yeah. Find people who will love you, Mickey.
Go, if they'll have you, go to AEW. I would love to see Mickey James go be a locker room leader in AEW.
Oh,
But if not, you got a guaranteed job where your hubby's at.
imagine Mickey James versus Britt Baker.
Yes.
Mickey James versus Thunder Rosa.
I mean, you could do that in NWA, but ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, oh, Mickey James getting squashed by Jade Cargill.
Mickey James having a fun, goofy match with Chris Statlander.
Mickey James having a legit competitive match with Big Swole and slash or Hikaru Shida.
And / Red Velvet.
The possibilities. The fucking AEW's women's division has arrived, sir.
It is so good now.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good now. But that was MMWP Live, and this has been Modular Media. If you are watching this on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. It'll help us out. It'll make the AI algorithms go like, hey, this video should be suggested at other places. Let's suggest it other places. If you are listening to this on a podcast platform, remember to follow us there and tell your friends about us so we can get more people listening. And you can talk about a podcast together. There's a lot of possibilities there. Isn't there,
Yeah.
Mac? Think of another possibility so we just don't feel like we're shilling.
You can listen to us in the car on the way to or from work. You can listen to us when you're going to get groceries. Hey, it's a wrestling podcast. You can listen to it while you're working out. You can listen to it at work. You can do all kinds of fun stuff. We are an audio book without a story.
The story is how much we're dumbasses.
Indeed.
But I think that's it. Do you have any final words for our lovely, lovely audience of none?
Wrestling.
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 Shut it off.